Shri Gurudev Datta, Param Pujya Ramkrishna Kshir Sagar Swami Maharaj. This name does not belong merely to an individual. It is a realized divine incarnation of Lord Datta, manifested on the sacred land of Bharat. Shri Nrisingha Saraswati Swami gave him a divine command. I wish to accomplish the work of the Vedas through you. From that very moment, preparation began in many ways to fulfill the sacred responsibility of the Guru's mission. With the noble intention that the Shri Guru's grace should reach every home and that without any discrimination, everyone should be included in the stream of Shri Guru Dutt's blessings, Satsang Mandals were established in various places. One such mandal is Shri Guru Satsang Mandal, founded in Vashi, Navi Mumbai in 1987. By the Shri Guru's blessings, a dedicated building named Shri Ramkrishna Adhyatmik Kendra was constructed for this Satsang Mandal at Kopar Kherne, Navi Mumbai. With the grace and blessings of Param Pujya Ramkrishna Kshir Sagar Swami Maharaj, Shri Guru Satsang Mandal Vashi organized a sacred Navachandi Yag on 5th October 2025. Before witnessing a brief glimpse of this sacred Yag, let us look at the tradition of worshipping Mother Jagdamba who guides our lives. Madhu and Kaitab were two terrifying demons of the primordial age who troubled even Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu. The goddess bestowed power upon Sri Vishnu, and through her strength those demons were slain. This story appears in the Durga Saptashati of the Markandeya Puran as well as in the Devi Bhagvat and Kalika Puran. The Devi Bhagvat states that to destroy evil beings such as Shumbha Nishumbha, Mahishasur and Bhairav, the goddess assumed the fierce forms of Chandi and Durga. In these forms, she protected her devotees. Thus, the goddess is not merely a deity, she is our mother, protector, giver of strength and rescuer in times of distress. Before the Mahabharat war, Lord Krishna advised Arjun that if he wished for victory, he should remember goddess Durga. The Devi Bhagvat also tells us that Devaki, Yashoda, Rukmini and Satyabhama were devoted worshippers of the goddess. They praised her and faithfully observed her sacred vows. When Jagdamba was pleased with Adi Shankaracharya's deep penance, she granted him direct darshan. After this divine vision, he composed the magnificent hymn Saundarya Lahari, which contains the famous verse, Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitum Na Chedevam Devo Na Khalu Kushalah Spanditumapi. Meaning, only when Shiva is united with Shakti does he gain the power to create. Without Shakti, even he cannot move. Thus, Shankaracharya established that Shiva and Shakti are one. In Saundarya Lahari, he praises the goddess as the mother of the universe, embodiment of compassion and the very form of knowledge. Before the battle with Ravan, Lord Ram worshipped goddess Durga and received her boon of victory, as described in the Devi Bhagvat. Though Sri Ram was an incarnation of Sri Vishnu, he worshipped the goddess to teach humanity that divine grace is essential for righteous action. During his exile, when he did not know which path to take, the goddess herself appeared and guided him. Therefore, Samarth Ramdas Swami referred to her as Ram Vardaini, the one who grants boons even to Lord Ram. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was a great devotee of goddess Tulja Bhavani. Before battles and major decisions, he sought her blessings. With her grace, he established the great Hindvi Swarajya. Ramkrishna Paramhans attained intense renunciation through the grace of Mother Kali. Swami Vivekanand once went before Kali to ask for fame and wealth. But standing in her presence, he instead prayed for knowledge, renunciation, and devotion. From this sprang the conquest of Chicago, national awakening, and the ideal of renunciate karma yoga. Param Pujya Ramkrishna Kshir Sagar Swami Maharaj himself had a divine vision of goddess Jagdamba in the sanctum of the Sri Dutt temple at Gangapur. From this, we understand that the primordial power residing in Sri Vishnu, Sri Shiva, and Sri Brahma together forms the supreme Adi Shakti, Jagdamba. Jagadamba is present everywhere. We ordinary people must maintain both worldly life and spiritual life properly, and for that we must worship the goddess. So says Sut Maharaj, disciple of Maharshi Vyas, composer of the 18 Purans. If divine beings and great souls worship Jagadamba for success, how much more necessary is such worship for us? There are many ways to worship the goddess. One of them is the Navchandi Yag, in which all chapters of the Durga Saptashati are recited along with Vedic mantras for home and invocation. Markandeya Rishi's hymn to the goddess is known as the Saptashati recitation. Param Pujya Ramkrishna Ksheersagar Swami Maharaj explains that during a yajna, mantras are chanted while offerings are made into the sacred fire. Sound has great importance in spirituality. The vibrations generated by proper chanting can remove physical and mental afflictions. Therefore, mantras must be recited clearly, correctly, and powerfully. Such chanting generates spiritual energy that benefits society and the nation. Even listening to the Vedas can bring blessings, whether or not one understands them. Since Navchandi Yag is extremely sacred, it began with ritual purification of the Yajman through symbolic Godan, donation of a cow. When actual Godan is not possible, offerings to worthy recipients fulfill the vow. Then all present partook of Panchagavya for purification of body and mind. The Sri Guru was invoked with honorific titles, and prayers were offered for the success of the ritual. Panchayat and hymns praising 5 principal deities were recited. After this, a sacred resolve was taken that everyone should receive the continuous blessings of their Kuldevi, enjoy good health, and engage more and more in Guru Seva. The purification rite, Punyaha Vachan, was performed. In this ritual, through mantra chanting, the place, the materials of the yajna, the yajmans, and all the participants are spiritually purified. So that all the rituals proceed without obstacles, first Lord Ganesha was invoked and worshipped. After that, Lord Varuna, the deity of water, was worshipped. Then Sri Matruka Puja was performed. Sri Matruka Puja means the ritual invocation and worship of the divine feminine powers represented by the group of Matruka goddesses. According to the scriptures, these Matrukas represent the various powers of the Divine Mother, and they are worshipped first for the successful completion of the yajna. Nandi Shraddh was then performed. Nandi Shraddh is a ritual performed before auspicious ceremonies to remember and offer respect to the ancestors. After that, the Navgrahas and their family of 42 associated deities were worshipped. This is an important preliminary ritual of the Navchandi Yajna, which harmonizes planetary energies and ensures the success of the yajna. Then, the Brahmadi Mandal of 62 deities was established and worshipped. This mandal represents the divine forces responsible for the functioning of the universe. Thus, the purpose of a yajna is not merely worship but establishing harmony with the entire cosmos. In the sacred Kalash, the Kul Swamini of the Sadguru, Mahalakshmi Ambabai, was invoked. She was invoked in the forms of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati. Through Vedic mantras, the sacred fire in the Yajna Kund was ignited and consecrated according to scriptural tradition. The Durga Saptashati contains 13 chapters and 700 verses, each considered a mantra. A fire offering was made with every mantra, that is, an offering was made into the sacred fire with every verse. In the Navchandi Yajna, Kumari Puja, the worship of young girls, is considered extremely important. According to scriptures, a young girl symbolizes pure and innocent divine power. Therefore, she is worshipped as the living form of the goddess. Traditionally, girls between the ages of 2 and 10 represent different forms of the goddess. They were worshipped accordingly. After that, Suvasini Puja was performed. A married woman is considered the living symbol of the goddess's blessings of prosperity, auspiciousness, and nurturing power. After the main home and before the final offering, Ushmand Bali was offered. Here, Bali does not mean animal sacrifice. Rather, it is a sacred offering made to divine forces, elemental beings, directional energies, and unseen spiritual entities. After this, the Purnahuti, the final sacred offering, was performed. Then, the Aarti was performed. A prayer was offered at the feet of the Sadguru, Param Pujya Ramkrishna Kshir Sagar Swami Maharaj, that such sacred activities may continue through us always. Since this entire yajna was completed only through the grace of the goddess and the Sadguru, it was offered in devotion at their holy feet. After the completion of the yajna, everyone partook of the prasad meal. The enthusiasm of the devotees after the yajna was clearly visible on their faces. All this was the sacred result of Guru's grace and the divine power of the Vedic mantras.